What's up guys, okay, so today we are going to be doing a review on the new Feiyu-Tech G6 gimbal. Feiyu-Tech sent me this gimbal the other week for review. I've already done an unboxing and setup on it, so if you haven't watched that yet and you want to know what comes in the box with this, how to set it up, then go and check that out. I show you guys a cool few features of this gimbal in that video, so I'm not going to include anything I showed on that video in this review. So if you want to go and watch that video, then go and watch that. But right now we're going to be doing this review and tutorial of the gimbal. Going to be showing you guys how it works, what the modes do, what everything does. So let's just get on with the video. Okay, so first things first, I think we're going to start with modes. We're going to go fairly quickly through these modes. All the Feiyu-Tech modes of all of their gimbals are exactly the same. This is what I love about Feiyu-Tech, because you can use any one of their gimbals, and as long as you know how to use one of their gimbals, you can pretty much always use all of their gimbals. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and power this on first, and I'm just going to give you guys a quick overview of all the buttons and what they all do. Okay, so looking on the side facing you, then at the top you have the joystick. It's very obvious what the joystick does. If you move that left, it goes left. If you move it right, it goes right. Move it up, it goes up. Move it down, it goes down. With the joystick, if let's say you move it up quite a lot like that, then it will stay like that. So if you do all of that movements, it will still stay facing up, and same again moving it down. Okay, so joystick done. Now we have the mode button. Now the mode button is also the on and off button, so if you hold this down it will either turn it on or turn it off, and if you tap it then it will change into the different modes. So depending on how you tap it, changes into which mode. So let's go through the modes now and show you all the modes and what they do. So when you turn it on, it goes into the standard mode or the panning mode. So if you go this way or this way, it won't move. If you go up or down, it won't move, but if you pan it left to right, the gimbal will follow with you. You can get this mode, it's default when it turns on, or if you're on another mode and you want to reset your gimbal back to how it is when it's turned on, then you double press this trigger button on the back. So if I was in any other mode, I would double press the trigger button, and there we go, it's back into mode 1. So next we have mode 2. Mode 2 you get by double pressing the mode button, double press, and we're in mode 2. Now this is the panning and tilting mode. So if you go side to side like this, it stays the same, but if you go up, it follows you up, and if you go down, it follows you down, and if you go panning side, it follows, and panning the other side, it follows. But yeah, let's move on to the next mode, which is mode number 3, which is the selfie mode. So to get to mode number 3, very simple, we press it 3 times, 1, 2, 3, we press the mode button 3 times, and as you can see, it swings around. Again, good for selfies. So, I mean, my frame isn't quite big enough here, but as you can see, we can take a selfie there if you're wanting to maybe vlog, or just take a good photo with this gimbal, make sure it's steady, or a video. You don't have to be vlogging, you could do a video with this gimbal. Then this is the selfie mode, so I'm just going to get it back to normal by double pressing the trigger button. So again, it resets it. And finally we have the mode 4, or the final mode. Now this is slightly different. You actually do this, you actually get to this mode by just pressing it once. If you press the mode button once, it goes into lock mode, where whatever you do locks the gimbal in place. So wherever you pressed it, it means it will lock in that place. So if I point it at the camera now and I press it once, that means I can go up and down, it won't move, side to side, it won't move, and I can pan that way, and it won't move. Now you can also access this mode, which is my preferred way of accessing this mode, is by holding down the trigger button. So if you hold the trigger button down, it also gets you into lock mode. So as you can see, up, down, it doesn't move, left, right, it doesn't move. Everywhere you go, it doesn't move. It locks on where you put it. And what I like about this is you can sort of just snap in and out of it quickly, rather than messing around with the mode button. You can go following your subject, lock, lock, following your subject, following your subject, lock, following your subject. Do you see what I mean? So that is the lock mode. Okay, so let's move on to the next button, which is underneath the mode button, which is the take photo and video button. Now this button is super useful. This is new for this gimbal. If your GoPro is connected to your gimbal over Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, you can take photos or videos directly from your GoPro just by pressing this button here. You don't have to destroy the gimbal's motors by trying to press that and holding it down and blah blah blah. You can simply just tap this button here once when the gimbal is connected to the GoPro over Wi-Fi, and it will take the video on your GoPro, and then again you press it again to stop. I will show you how to connect your gimbal and GoPro to each other later on in the video, but we'll get to that in just a minute. Okay, so then we'll move to the back of this gimbal. Then we have 2 buttons. We have the trigger button, which I've already talked about. So this is obviously if you want to reset the gimbal, then you press the trigger button twice. So tap it twice, 1, 2, and this resets the gimbal to exactly how it is when it's turned on. So if you think it's maybe facing, you know, a little bit off axis, it's slightly pointing down a bit much, then double tap this, and it will reset. And as I explained earlier, it's also the lock feature. Hold it down, it locks, but I've already explained that. And then just above that, we have this little button here. I'm not actually sure what it's called. It's a new feature. Basically, you can slide it to the left or right, and either way you slide it makes the GoPro tilt that way. So if I slide it to the left, the GoPro tilts to the left, and if I slide it to the right, the GoPro tilts to the right. So right now you're probably thinking it maybe is a bit useless because now our GoPro is off axis and the angle is going to be completely wrong. But if we just press the trigger button twice, it goes back and resets to the normal state. And we have one final button which is on the side here, on the same side as the USB port charger. We have this button here which is the settings button. Now this is awesome. If your GoPro is connected to the gimbal over Wi-Fi, I'll show you how to do that later on in the video, then you can do a mixture of tapping that and holding it down to change GoPro settings and GoPro modes. I will show you all how to do that in just a minute. So that is another really cool button. That is all the buttons, that's everything that's on the gimbal, that's all you need to know. So now let's get into how you connect this gimbal to the GoPro so you can start taking photos and videos and adjusting the settings from the gimbal itself and not having to mess around with touching the GoPro. Okay, so first things first, if your gimbal is already on, you are going to want to power it off. You might have just heard, but I just did that. So you're going to make sure your gimbal is powered off. And I've got my phone here with me and I'm going to demonstrate to you now how you connect it to the Wi-Fi. Okay, so my GoPro and gimbal are both off. My phone is here ready, and first things first, I'm actually going to turn my GoPro on. So I'm going to turn the GoPro on. I have a GoPro Hero 5. I think the Hero 5 and 6 are fairly similar, so this should work for you. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to swipe down from the top to bring out the preferences and the connect. I'm going to click connect, and I'm going to swipe down to wireless connections. And I'm going to click that, and I'm going to click connect. And then it says connect new device, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to click GoPro app. We're not actually going to connect it to the GoPro app, but we are just going to click that anyway. So we're going to click GoPro app, and it will there tell you it's trying to connect. It will give you the camera name and the password. So we're now going to go and grab our phone, and we're going to go into settings. We're going to click Wi-Fi, and we are going to find on the Wi-Fi our GoPro should come up. There we go, our GoPro's come up. We're going to click on that. It's now connected to our GoPro Wi-Fi. Bear in mind that it doesn't actually show up like on the bar that it's connected to the Wi-Fi. It doesn't show you how many bars of signal it's got, but as long as you've got that tick by the GoPro Wi-Fi, then that's fine for you. So now I'm going to go ahead and go to our Feiyu-On app. Now be careful because there are two different Feiyu-Tech apps on the App Store, and for so long I couldn't get my app to work, but I realized because I was using the wrong app. So one is called the Feiyu Cam and one is called the Feiyu-On app. You have to make sure you are using the Feiyu-On app. Okay, so now is when we turn on our gimbal. So we're going to go and turn on the gimbal, holding the on and off button down. Our gimbal is on. Our GoPro, as you can see, is still putting out our Wi-Fi signal. And then what we are going to do is we're going to go and click on the Feiyu-On app. It's going to load up for us. And we're going to go and click connect at the bottom. And we're going to go and click connect at the bottom. We're going to go and turn Bluetooth on our phone. Make sure your Bluetooth is turned on. So make sure the Bluetooth for your phone is turned on. And we're going to click connect at the bottom. It's searching devices, and for mine there it says FYG692. Click on that and then it takes you into the controls of the app. Now to connect to your GoPro, at the top there you see there's a little Wi-Fi bar, the very top of the controls. You click on that Wi-Fi, then you click GoPro. It will say reading Wi-Fi list. And then you click select the network, which is your GoPro network. So I'm going to select my network here, that's my GoPro network. Click connection. It will say connecting to the Wi-Fi, please wait. And there we go, it says connection success. So now I am connected to the GoPro via Wi-Fi, and if I click the record button on my gimbal, it will start recording for me. And then if I click the record button again, it will stop recording for me. And now the button on the side comes in handy when you can change through your settings. So if we click the button on the side once, it switches to photo mode and then time-lapse mode, the next mode, until you're back at video mode. So it just goes around in a circle. But if you hold it down, and you hold it down for a few seconds, it will show you your GoPro's settings. So there you can see you've got the 4K, 2.7K, 1080. Now using your joystick you can switch along those settings. So if you put your joystick up or down, that will change the setting, and then if you move your joystick to the side, it will change to the next setting. So if I move my joystick up or down, it will go 2.7K, 4K, 1080, but if I move it to the side, it will change from the resolution to the frame rate. And then the same with the frame rate, 60 frames a second, 80 frames a second, 90 frames a second, 120 frames a second. You can change all that by moving your joystick up and down. And then to save those settings, you click and hold the side button. Click and hold it until the line at the bottom of your LCD screen is all the way across, and it will save those settings. Okay, so we're coming nearer the end of our review, and I haven't showed you guys test footage yet, so why don't we do some test footage? So I am now going to go out and about, film some test footage with the Hero 6. I'll film some walking, I'll do some action stuff. Now, this is all going to be test footage from the G6, no stabilization in editing software, no GoPro stabilization, just the raw GoPro video, just the G6 that is stabilizing it. So here is that test footage that I filmed.
To be seen, embarrassed to care, how I was scared, unaware of my dreams, just an heir to what my parents had seen, how unfair it all seems, collar to throat was the barrio joke, had 3 flowers, a comb, and some dollar store locs, iron and rags, keep your eye on the sack, a disguise for those admired but never fired a mag.
Okay, so that is it for the tutorial side. Now just a quick review, very quickly. What do I love about this gimbal? Honestly, I think it's brilliant. I think it's a really good step up from the G5. There was a few things I didn't love so much about the G5, but I think this G6 is a massive step up. I love the fact it's waterproof. The only bad thing I have to say about it, and this is genuinely the only bad thing I have to say, is that they've taken away the extension pole mount. This for me is like, it's just why. This is why I love these gimbals. Is in the G5 and the G4S, they all have a little slot at the bottom where you can extend an extended pole in, and this is something I did all the time with my G4S. I do not go out filming with my G4S unless I have an extended pole. It makes the footage so much smoother, so much easier to get close to the action. It's a must for me. It is an absolute must-have. They've taken it out on the G6. Honestly, I can't think why. I'm not gonna lie, I just don't know. They have got a tripod mount in there, so maybe they're making a new extended pole for the tripod mount. I hope this was helpful to you. I hope you enjoyed. If you did enjoy, then please, it means a massive amount to me if you could hit that like button down below. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. If you're new to the channel, first time you've seen me, then hit that subscribe button down below. It means a massive amount to me, helps me out a lot as a channel. And leave a comment down below. You can ask me any questions. I answer pretty much all of my comments, so if you have a question about the gimbal, leave it down below and I'll try and answer it for you guys if I know the answer. And also leave a comment down below what other gimbal videos you want. I've got this G6 gimbal here, loads of videos I want to put out on it, so if you guys have a video you want me to do, tutorial, anything like that, then let me know in the comments what you want me to do. But yeah, that's it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I do hope you enjoyed. But yeah, I will see you in my next video.